What's up, y'all? It's your homie Mike. I'm back. We're back. My beautiful wife, Faith. She's back like she never left. And this is Carvett Convos, episode 16. You know? You know? Episode 16. And I'm gonna
Hey
just
y'all.
I'm gonna just go ahead and say it. We missed a week.
We did. You know, it was Mother's Day weekend,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, just welcome back. Welcome back
For
just
sure.
for us. And
For y'all, for viewing.
last week, I ain't gonna lie, it was rough.
Tell them about it.
It
Tell
was
them about how
rough.
rough it was last week, honestly.
It honestly was rough. We did plan on, catching up and just dropping the episode later
Mm-hmm.
in the week, but I was diagnosed with a sinus infection,
Man.
and that was
Oh,
earlier
baby.
in the week. No, I thought I was on the up and up with my allergies, even y'all can still hear it a little bit, but I am better. Been taking my good old meds.
Yeah, because you need
And
that.
yeah, still working and everything. And yeah, it was just a lot. We just never caught up to getting the episode in, and even though we still a little late, better late,
Than never.
yeah, but better
Mm-hmm.
late. Wait,
Better late than never.
but never late is better. That's what Drake
Mm.
said.
Okay.
But it's okay because we're here now,
Yep.
and shout out to y'all for the anticipation because this is episode 16.
100%. And um, to touch on that, you were also introduced to something fairly new, I would say, which we're going to talk about later on.
Oh,
We're going to
okay.
talk about that later on. But I will say for right now, touching back onto your like sinus infection and everything last week, it was tough. Like, um, wanting to create and feeling like we like missed out. Like we were talking about it the whole time. And it was just like, yeah, we want to make sure you feel better before we can really do this. So the focus was really solely on making sure baby got to feeling better. Because again, we thought it was just allergies, but like knew it had to be deeper. So shout out to Janae Aiko.
Yeah.
That's the name that I call her, but that's not her real name. But yeah, shout out Janae for just pushing in, honing in on her friend to go and get a deeper understanding. Because, a lot of times just listening to your spouse, it's like, whatever, I hear you, but I'm good. And then I feel like it just really takes sometimes a lot of outside help, like our friends or other family people that just really care about us. Like, all right, now
He wanted me to
you're
go
not
to
improving.
he asked me that I want to go to the hospital. My eyes is like
Yeah, because I'm like, listen
super
now,
red. And even,
this is like really like
yeah,
new. I'm like, I known you to have like little battles and now and then with your allergies and whatnot, but I'm like, I ain't never ever seen your eyes look like that. I was like, we can go to the hospital like right now.
I
And it's
believe I
like,
had a case of like some hay fever going on. But
yeah,
they told me to continue to take like my allergy medicine along with my medication they gave me for my sinus infection.
yeah,
So yeah, because I had stopped taking it because I was feeling better. And then it was like boom. And that was like a symptom of a sinus infection. Like you feel better and then you just feel worse again. And I
yeah,
like went to sleep feeling fine. Woke up feeling like, dang, I done
I got
started
hit by a
all
truck.
over
Yeah.
again.
And that was tough to deal
So
with, just like on the opposite end. I'm like, man, this just don't really seem like it's getting better.
yeah, and just feeling
Yeah.
so fatigued.
Yeah. And
Definitely was feeling fatigued.
I'm just looking, I'm like, yeah, we can't really do anything other than making sure you feel good. It's like, let's make sure you feel good.
You should probably turn that off. I see like
This?
yeah, it's like lights and stuff.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, that makes sense. But
That's funny.
yeah, I think that ultimately, yeah, going to just get that, going to the doctor to make sure that you know what you, because I think too, self-diagnosing is really something that can, it's like twofold, right? Like when you self-diagnose, when you hop on Google, it's like this could be what's going on with me.
Yeah, cause I ain't gonna lie. Don't nobody know your body like you know your body.
You should.
Even, yeah, well, you should. Like, you can listen to your body and really, advocate for yourself because they say pain is subjective. You can't tell a person they're not in pain, you know, something I learned in school. So, with that being the case, yes, a lot of times you can self diagnose yourself with things.
Mm-hmm.
You can be wrong, of course. They say to seek medical profession, wait, medical advice or
Medical
to reach
advice,
out
yeah.
to a medical professional.
Mm-hmm.
But all in all, like you go to this medical professional telling them what's wrong. Essentially, yeah,
Basically,
it didn't take long. I was like, yeah, I think I got this. And they're like, you know what? You pretty much do got that. It wasn't no deep like
yeah.
discovery and lab drawings. It was like, yeah, like I didn't, according to this, and this, I think I got this. They were like, you know what? You kind of right. I'm like, I thought I was.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So I would say too, that's where I would like, we self-diagnose too, but like you said, it's always important to go get that medical
that second,
advice. Like, yeah, that like
opinion.
the person who actually went to school for it might want
Yeah.
to at least go check with them,
Because
because Google
sometimes you
is
can only get better with what they prescribe you. You got
exactly.
to go there.
Yeah, so it's like, you can get as much over the counter stuff as you want. Sometimes you need something a little bit stronger. So you got to go to those people who went to school for it and who going to be like, all right, what you Googled and what you researched pretty much might be what you got. But, that over the counter stuff only tames it. Here you go. This is what you really need to go get yourself right.
And I look at the pages that say .org,
Okay.
not .com or
Mesmer.
.gov or .in.
Mesmer taught
Credit.
credible
Yes,
sources.
credible sources.
Shout out Mesmer.
Don't be going to Wikipedia and
Yeah.
.com and doctor.com and stuff.
Yeah.
Not saying that it may be wrong, but it's really, really a hit
It's
or
not
miss.
credible,
It's not a credible source.
because I would like shout out our alma mater again,
Hmm.
Mesmer. They really taught us a lot.
Shout out Mesmer.
Mesmer taught us a lot. I
Yeah,
don't.
Mesmer High School. College bound, college prep, high
Yes,
school.
man.
And even if you don't want to go to college, it did teach you. Like, I
Life
feel like I'm going to
goals.
always know how to write a paper in MLA format. I wonder if they still doing that.
I would hope so.
Because listen, the amount of people that don't know how to write a paper, we had to write a paper for every
Class,
subject:
boy.
gym,
What?
math,
What? Matt,
English,
listen.
of course,
Imagine writing
social studies,
a paper
theology.
for
I'm
math
surprised we
class.
didn't have art.
We real.
Yep.
This was real. This is no
Um,
cap.
I'm surprised we didn't have one for lunch period.
Literally at
But if you
least a
have
page,
swimming,
a lunch period.
anything you could think of class wise, we had portfolios
Come
of
on, man.
papers.
Thick. When we
Hmm.
graduated, boy, they gave us
I
that
think I still got
portfolio.
mine.
I don't know where mine might be. Mine might be long gone by
I
now.
don't know.
But
I may still have
I'm
that. That was
talking
hard work.
thick,
over
boy.
10 years old, but you better believe what double space
Man, huh?
12.5, I
You
think,
hear
Times
me?
New Roman.
Come on
I think
now.
it's kind of embedded in
I
my
might have
brain.
some home. I might have some stuff actually. I think I might have some stuff from
Yeah.
back then. But yeah, Mesmer was really like that was a place that you, man, you was either sink or swim.
Yeah.
At least during them
One of the
times,
biggest graduating classes,
one
class
of
of
the biggest, man.
2014.
So
Yeah.
also, real quick, while we're talking about Mesmer, I'm pretty sure it's a lot of people that are watching this. We do have a pretty big event coming up. The Tot Lot event, which is hosted by fam Vic. That's going to be held at Mesmer again this year,
It is?
of course. So going forward, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Vic has correlated with Mesmer to have it there pretty much every year.
Oh, I thought it was at the playground again.
Mm-mm.
Oh,
It's
okay.
hosted right at Mesmer. I believe, like I said, if I'm not mistaken, um, that's where it'll be held going
Cool.
forward, right there at Mesmer. So it's kind of like I believe, in if I'm not mistaken, in Vic's words, by having it there at Mesmer, it allows us or allows him to do it regardless of weather. Because you got to think, like, if it's held, like when it was
Yeah,
held
in the gym.
outside, it
Mm-hmm.
was
Weather
always
permitting.
weather permitting. When you host it inside, it's like we're hooping, because that's kind of what
Right,
the
yeah.
foundation of it all was, and it's expanded beyond that now to much more, which I believe there's a dinner and things. There's like alumni. It's like a whole alumni weekend now this year. It's like it's a whole big thing for Mesmer alumni and their family to come and network and just see other
Love that.
people.
Love
So yeah,
that.
we're gonna drop that flyer and everything with the date, but that'll be dope. And I just love that most Mesmer people are like genuine like people. I feel in a way
For
I would like
sure.
to think. A lot of us who do graduate or have went to Mesmer, I feel like we have a very hard working mindset.
Close
Um,
knit,
yeah, I feel like we're very uh business
business
oriented,
oriented.
if
Yeah.
if you will, like
Mm-hmm.
because I would always think of Mesmer teachers just saying how we're gentlemen and scholars and how you can be ladies and scholars, and it was just like hearing that type of stuff early on. It really, I feel like it affects you in your upbringing and your mindset because you gotta think all 4 years we were hearing these things, like all 4 years of our life and our development, if you will, our mental development, where I think it mattered most. Like we were hearing uplifting things, and we were really challenged a lot. So I think by the time it got to like real life for us, it's like, man, we've been getting challenged all these 4 years in high school. So
Yes.
like now that we out here on our own, we kind of already knew a little bit how these challenges was gonna go, just based
Yeah.
off our teachers. Like I even feel like our teachers were super honest with us even back then. So shout out Mesmer, man.
Yeah. Shout out to those that did drop those gems in between those lessons that we were getting. Those standard, high school curriculum. They was dropping those gems in between. So yeah, good, good times for sure.
What is what has been the highlight of your week?
You know what? Shout out to you for the date of going to see Final Destination. That was five, right?
Six.
Six?
Yeah.
Dang.
It's six of them things
Six.
apparently.
Oh, we. But I love them all. I ain't gonna lie. That's one of my favorite movie series, I would say.
Okay.
One of my top ones. And so yeah, I know back when we went to see Sinners, they advertised it. I was like, I
Yeah.
want to go see that. It came around faster
Then
than
I
I
expect,
expected. I was
like,
like,
yeah.
dang, it's already out.
Hmm.
And I seen someone said it was good. I was like, oh, I want to go see it. Yep. And of course, hus- husband, made that possible. It's like, all right, you want to go? I was like, if you want.
Well, man,
Yeah.
look.
How you like it?
Um, honestly,
Yeah, honestly, how you was feeling it? It's still fairly new,
it
of
is.
course, so we not gonna say too
We not
much,
gonna. I'm not
but
gonna spoil it, but what I will say is, I talked to Evan about it, and what I feel is, it's just, excuse me. And this is no real. This is like, I feel like the old guy talking about this. It's like,
the old guy.
yeah, because it's like, I liked it. It was cool, but I don't know, for some reason it just didn't give me that Final Destination feel. I don't know. Like, I
Yeah,
liked it. It was cool. But I don't know. It was just some. I feel like it was rushed a little bit. That's where I feel like I be just overthinking. Like, I'm thinking too deep into it instead of just watching the movie. But I'm like, it was like certain plots and things. I'm like, this don't really make sense. I'm like, what is this? I'm,
yeah,
I'm listening to what they're saying. I'm like, this don't make sense. But I'm watching it. I'm like, it's cool for the eye. But like, if you get to listening and trying to piece it together, it's just like, it's really all over the place. And I'm like, I don't,
yeah,
y'all making it lose the Final Destination touch by trying to connect stuff and make it about something it's not. And I'm just like,
yeah. With the storyline,
yeah, the storyline was a little like confusing to me. It was like throwing me
corny.
off. I'm like, I'm trying to follow it, but I was just like, I don't know.
I see what they tried to do
You
with the
know, like, I
twist
get
of
it.
it. It's
I
like,
get
oh,
it.
okay, that's
So that's why I
different.
say it's not bad. So I would say, honestly, I would give the movie like an 8.5. An 8. Like, it's not bad. Like, it's not a bad movie.
Mhm.
But I was just thinking, I'm like, sometimes certain movies ain't even gotta be called Final Destination. Or it ain't gotta, just
It
certain
don't gotta
movies,
fit
it
or
ain't gotta even go along with
with
that
that.
series, or that
Mhm.
sometimes it can be left alone. Like, just leave them alone. But what I do like is, we already know, so this is not a spoiler, but they got Tony Todd in there, which is the original Candyman.
Oh
So I
yeah.
do love that, if nothing, they kept his character in there. Like, if you know anything about Final Destination, you know his character is very, like, important to the series, or to
Yeah.
the
And his last movie. Shout
yeah.
out them.
So that was probably like my favorite takeaway from the movie. But don't get me wrong, it is a pretty good movie. Like, I
Yeah.
will say
I
that
liked it,
it was good.
it was cool.
It was
I
all right.
liked it,
It was all right. It
I
was all
give
right.
it a 8.5 probably as well.
Mm-hmm.
It was cool.
Cause I
Uh,
had to really rethink about it. I'm like, watch. I had some laughs. I had some oohs. I had some
yeah.
ahs. So I can't really trip on it. I was just like, could have been called something else. But I see what y'all was trying to do.
Well, I ain't gonna say it could have been called something else. Only because you did make a good point of Tony Todd being in there.
Yeah.
So with Tony Todd being in there, and that was his final movie before he passed. He just passed this
Yeah.
year too, and he was a very important character to the series. For this to be the sixth one,
Hmm.
I feel like they did that.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, when I
they
look
had
when I look at it from that perspective, like I said, I had to fully digest it. So the more I think about it, I'm like, okay, there was that and there was this, and I'm like, okay, I see what they did. But it was just like, really trying to follow that storyline for me at the beginning was just really like,
it
it
was
was
a
just,
little slow. I would
it
say
was
starting
like, I was
off,
like, what are we
they were
talking
like
about?
kind
Oh,
of
I
a
almost
little
fell out the
slow.
chair. Oh, I almost fell out the seat. But yeah, it was like,
Yeah, just a little slow
mm-hmm.
on that. But yeah, that was a highlight. I liked the movie. Very interesting, to say the least. So if y'all haven't seen it yet, go check it out. You know, let us know what y'all feel about it. Comment in the section.
Oh yeah, put
below.
that in the comment section. All
Yep.
right, like, comment, and subscribe too while we're
Yep.
talking about the comment
Like,
section.
comment, and subscribe.
Yeah, do all of that if you don't mind. If
Share,
you could.
of course. Go back and check out our previous
Yeah,
videos,
drop
episodes that
suggestions.
we have released.
Mm-hmm. Please do all
Yeah.
of that. Drop suggestions on what y'all want us to talk about. Drop suggestions on what y'all want us to look like going forward. Drop suggestions on anything that y'all deem necessary and or important. So yeah, our content is like we said. We are the car and the vet. The convos is really for y'all.
Mhm.
We really want y'all to be in
We having all
tune.
type of combos.
Yeah, we want y'all to be in tune and feel good about what we're bringing to y'all, but we also want to keep y'all engaged. So by doing that, y'all have to comment and tell us what y'all want us to talk about, so y'all can feel like, ooh, they talking about something I want them to talk about. Because we can talk about anything. We're open books right
Yes,
now.
definitely. Because another highlight that just popped up in my head as you was talking of saying we are open books is, I discovered some real good wings from Pepper Pot.
Oh yeah,
Yes, they have some really good wings. 5-piece, fried, $7.
$7.
Yeah, it was. Yes, Milan loves them.
How she call them?
She
Hot
she's
wings,
called them hot chicken.
hot chicken,
She like
hot
because
chicken.
it's a Jamaican spot. If you don't know, Pepper
Hmm.
Pot, Milwaukee, 414.
Oh yeah, real quick
And
plug. Definitely did a food review at the Table Podcast. So
yeah, we
did
gonna
tap in
put
with
that
that.
in
Yeah,
there.
we right here at Pepper Pot on MLK. We're gonna drop the link in the video. Yeah, we about to try some Jamaican food today and let y'all know how that is, man. We at Pepper Pot on MLK.
That in there.
So
Put that in
if you could go over
there.
to the other channel that I'm a part of,
Yeah,
which is called The Table Podcast, THATABLEPODCAST, The Table Podcast,
at
and
the
you'll
Table
see
Podcast under
that
the
food review.
Table Food
Yes,
Reviews.
that's a whole separate playlist, but you go on the page, you will see that. Check that out. Yeah, that Pepper Pot is a
Yes,
real fire little
definitely
spot. But
fire.
them wings though that you did,
And that's not even on their menu. They have some wings, but it's on there.
I don't even know if I want to tell them about this one though. But I ain't gonna gatekeep because you out here.
Oh yeah,
They do got jerk chicken tacos.
yep.
They do got them, y'all.
They got Philly steak rolls,
They
Philly steak
I
egg
ain't tried the Philly
rolls.
steak egg rolls yet, but they do got the jerk chicken tacos.
Mhm.
Them things, listen, simple. I like simple. They're simple. They're to the point. There ain't no. They not like dressed up and everything. They're just perfect, good, straight to the point jerk chicken tacos, bro.
Yeah. Over there
They
on
hit.
MLK.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
one we go to. The one over there. You know what I mean? We're gonna
That's
drop
their second
that
location.
location.
Yep.
But yeah,
That's
that's
the one
the
we frequent and you
yeah.
can sit in. They got
Yep.
a nice
Nice
bar.
decor.
Yeah, nice decor. They have a DJ that comes in
Karaoke on
sometime during the
Wednesdays, I
week.
think.
Yeah, they used to. I haven't been to
Yeah.
karaoke Wednesday, but like once, so I think they may still do that. But
Yeah.
yeah, they're a vibe. Go check them out. They're closed Sundays and Mondays.
Gotta get
Rest
that
of the week
rest.
they're open though, and food is fire. Like
Mm-hmm.
have had the jerk chicken, the rice and the peas.
The beef patty, pretty
Mm-hmm.
good. Um,
Drinks are great.
the jerk chicken
Reasonable
nachos,
price.
obviously.
It's a vibe. They accept Apple Pay.
Hmm. Yeah. So tap in with them, man, if you haven't
Yeah,
been there. Um,
definitely. But yeah, that was a highlight because them wings was fire. It's like, where have you been?
look,
Where have you been?
that's crazy. But yeah, them are some good wings when you brought them home. For me, or when you bought them the first time and I tried them,
Cause I
I was
let
like,
Milan
ooh,
try some in the
these joints
car.
hit.
She was like, I want that. I said, you're going to Cousins. shoutouts. So
Yeah.
that's what you said you wanted.
Said
And
getting a cousin
then we
some.
went back. I was like, we're going to get some hot chicken. So she got her some. I
Toe
got
it up too though.
some.
Like that's
Yeah.
what's crazy. Like
She said she wants some more.
When Milan likes something, she gonna tear it up, boy. Like she ain't finna
Yeah.
play with it. She will eat it.
She said I
And
tore that chicken up
yes, I
just like
tell you.
that.
She'll tell you how she did it
She
too.
said it was good. So
Yeah.
yeah, definitely go try them out. Yeah, I really liked them. That was a highlight.
I would say my highlight of the week has been this most recent situation now that I could talk about that I
Okay,
highlighted earlier.
yeah.
Um my highlight was that my wife, my partner, my buddy, my now on the on the go, on the ready videographer, you know what I mean, helped
Yeah.
with video not videographying. She actually shot a food review for me for the Table Podcast, which will be dropping this Friday. So
Yeah, it said
my baby will be
414.
making her debut behind the camera for me, her husband,
Yep. For the Table
for the
Podcast
Table
brand.
Podcast brand and for our food reviews, man. You know what I mean? So that was my highlight of the week. Just having you be a part of that and knowing that you were so willing to step into that role without any like real prep, because for you it was like you knew what I wanted to do and you knew what the plan was, but you didn't know how you fit in right away until that moment basically. And then for you to just take it on and be so ready for it, and then based on what we got, look on the look back, it looks really good. So
Yeah.
for
Thank
you to
you.
have done that your very first time, no real like prep on it, just going in with like, okay, we do this, we do Carvett Convos, so let's take
You
that
know what?
outside the house essentially and see what we can make work like that. And I truly appreciate you for doing that. So that was really my highlight of the week, just being able to continuously create and find ways to grow and still get things done that need to be done. So shout out you and thank you for being that help for me
Thank you,
and the
my
brand.
love. I'm proud to be here, part of the team.
100%.
And yeah, you know, we got great content coming. And I really had to think, like, I haven't done it in a while, but it was my first time in this type of realm. But I had to think back to like the Locust Fest, did
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And then we did like our own like state fair thing that
Yep.
we didn't even drop.
Still got though.
Yeah, we done
Still
did some
got.
stuff that we haven't even dropped
Yeah.
yet. So yeah, I've never done this under the table brand.
Yeah.
Well, the Locust Fest was under the
Yeah, that
table
was
brand.
under us.
Yep.
You shot that.
Mhm.
But this was the one that I would say was a full length.
Yeah.
Like this was like all you. This was
Excuse
like
me.
again, like this is the one I would say there was no prep. Like you knew about
Yeah,
Locust
no.
Fest.
Yeah, you're right.
Like with this was just like, hey,
You're helping me and you're a part of this. So I'm like, oh,
I
okay.
need you. Like you was
Yeah.
like,
Hop right in. Like, what
yeah,
you need me to
and it
do?
was from that point. It was like all hands on deck, and then for you to have just put your spin on it and make it what it was without me having to just be like, okay, do it like this, make it look like that. It was just like, and that's my thing. Like I always feel when I trust a person to be behind that camera, that's you. I'm in front of it.
Yeah.
So I've
I like to
always
be behind the camera because I like to catch. things.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
always pride myself on whenever I work with a person, I don't like to tell them what it should look like behind the camera. That's not my place. I feel like if I'm gonna do all of that, I might as well record myself.
That's a good point.
As the like, don't get me wrong, I love to be a part of the creation and the creativity of it all. But if I'm like this, right, I don't know what looks best if you're behind that camera. So for you to
That's
be
true.
like, or for me to be like, hold on, well, let me see how that look. Now I got to step behind the camera. So now I'm not even in the camera unless I go back to that footage and see how it look. Well, you
Right.
can zoom in like that or zoom in like, but it's like, I feel like that's cool to a certain extent. I don't mind the person that's behind the camera creating what looks best. Like for you, it was just things I was noticing on the playback. Like I'm not even asking you to do it, or I'm not even giving any direction, but it's just being done because it makes sense and it kind of matches what I want anyway for it to look like. So it's like that's just perfect in
Basically,
a
just
sense.
trusting
Yeah, just trusting that
myself on
person.
what looks
Yeah,
good because I can just think back to how you said like a certain zoom, but I'm like, oh look, it makes sense for this zoom, and not just really telling you about it, but
exactly.
just
Just do it.
trusting my eye
Just do
on
it.
what looks good. But
Yep.
yeah,
Because I always take into account too, like as the videographer, as the person recording, you're also a viewer.
yes, that's true.
So if you're gonna be a viewer, that's also a person that's critiquing the art. So as being a part of this art that you're helping me create, whatever looks best to you too, you now have your own responsibility to put that out there as well. So I just honestly like to think of creating in any kind of way as being more collaboratory than being like uh one person or one sided. Like, it's just collab
Right.
on that goal if
Yeah,
it's
just bouncing
you
off
know
each other ideas and just taking suggestions and just both looking at the footage and editing. And but shout out to you, honestly, when I think of editing, because you are killing it, honey. You are doing it.
hey
Because he handles all, put the emphasis on the all, the editing.
hey
Definitely looking good, looking crispy.
thank you.
Definitely see the growth, the progression. Looking, I don't even know. Like, I do know. Like, it's just perfect, honestly. Like, truth be told,
It's perfect for
definitely
us.
proud of you,
I appreciate
for sure.
you. You know, for me where all of that came from and just the ability to do all of that. I feel like
Creativity is shining through.
thank you baby, but the real truth behind all of this is for me is just realizing at some point you have to be accountable for where you are in life and what you got going and how successful things are and how much out how much you're putting out as far as content. It comes to a point where you really can't blame anybody but yourself. And for me, it came to a crossroad of like me really hitting the age where I'm about to be 30 in a couple months, God willing. And I just look back at my life and just think on a lot of the things that I would give up on because it was just difficult. And I believe I talked about this before, but it's just like being able to do something, knowing you can do something and not doing it is crazy. Basically, is where I'm at with it. It's like if it's hard, but you can still do it, why not just do it?
Yes.
That's really where my like, and it's crazy that I guess it took me to almost hit the age of 30 for that to really like fester in my mind, if you will. But like, I just really hit that point of like, yeah, editing this stuff may be difficult, but I know what I want my end product to look like. I know what I want my end product to be. So if I know this, I now have to be at least willing to take the steps to make it look like that through trial and error. It ain't gonna be right every time. Like that's just what it is. Like I'm not gonna hit it on the nail every time. It's not gonna be perfect every time. It's not. So knowing that and just being vulnerable in that belief and just being like, okay, as long as I'm willing to grow and figure out, okay, this is how I should make it look next time, or what if I put this edit here, or this reaction here, or this word pop up this way. And it's just really about making sure I'm comfortable and we're comfortable with what is being put out. And by doing that, it just comes with constant trial and error, being willing to take that leap and take that step. And I also realized too in this journey of like creating, you'll come out a lot of ways, not, I don't like to say cheaper because cheaper ain't always better, but you'll come out cheaper and gaining more knowledge if you look to do certain things yourself. I'll say that. Because don't get me wrong, you still got to spend money. Like, even with this editing stuff, I'm spending my own money to buy these tools and buy these apps and buy these extra features to edit on. But nonetheless, it'll come out much more cheaper than me paying somebody to now edit this content when I can just sit down myself and do it. And I'm also gaining that knowledge to do this now. Like, this is also a skill that I can say I have of being able to edit. So I truly appreciate you when you say these things. And I appreciate all the other people who have said this to me too, because there has been a lot of like kudos on the reels and the edits and things like that. And I always can say it wasn't always me doing all of this stuff. I've had different outsources with editing and stuff like that, but it did come to a point of like, at least for Carvett Convos for right now and going forward, even with the table, it's like if I want certain things to, if we want who's in that group for certain things to come out at a certain pace, then I feel like the people within that have to be more responsible at creating. And that's what I did for myself. I just took on that like cloak of being like, okay, I want things to come out more. So, hey, I got to edit. I have to sit down, take the time out, and produce. And yeah, I'm glad to say it's looking good, and you think it look good, and people watching think it look good.
Yeah, it definitely does. It's yeah, because editing is not easy. And but I can say like with editing, at least when you're doing it yourself, you can do it at a standard of what you want. It's gonna look how you want it to look. And you don't have to entrust in someone else hoping that they get your vision correct. Because if you want something done, do it yourself. I've heard before. So with certain things, you're always I feel like you should have a team of some sort, to help you. But, in certain things you have to do yourself. Certain things. Certain things you can outsource, but certain things you gotta do it yourself for it to just be what it is you want it to be. What I feel.
That's facts. That's really where I'm at with it as far as anything goes with whatever I'm a part of creative wise. Like, I want to just make sure I'm doing my part and putting in my best efforts with anything that I'm a part of when it comes to being creative. So, yeah, that's the journey of being in that world and being in that fold. But again, if it's meant for you, you're gonna do it regardless. If it's not, it'll fade out naturally. Is what I
Regardless, this journey of what we have, it has to keep going.
Yeah.
It will keep going. It will be successful. It
Mm-hmm.
will be beautiful. It's our love story. We
Yeah.
have a sign in our room that says, "We're going to be the greatest love story."
Yeah.
So, with that being the case, us being the greatest love story, we're not to compare to anyone. We
Yeah.
are only to be better with one another. We are to challenge one another. We are to be willing to go to the highest of heights with
For
each
one
other,
another, yeah.
holding each other's hand,
Mm-hmm.
and knowing that we're in this together,
Sure.
regardless of what it looks like, regardless of how it feels. Keeping God first and foremost, and knowing that whatever it is that comes our way and that we come to together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Better together. Strength in numbers. So 2 is better than 1.
Hmm.
So I like to think 2 brains, 4 eyes.
6.
Yeah, I didn't. I did. As I
Ah,
looked and said 4, I was like, but I'm
you
so
wasn't.
glad you said it. So yeah, like just the more the better in our case. And I know as long as we're willing to beat out all the odds, we will beat out all the odds because, like I said, 13 years in,
Cause gang members only.
you know what I mean? We locked in. This is a gang right here. We're in
We
a
locked
gang.
in,
We ain't going nowhere.
skin to skin.
Yes, ma'am. That's my baby. It's my twin. We locked in. Um,
But
this
yeah,
was fire.
yeah. I want to call this "Where Have You Been? Where have you been?"
Mm. Yeah, cause where have you been?
This is where we been,
Focusing, living life,
Yeah, life been
working.
trying to knock you down,
Yeah,
but still
healing,
getting up,
healing,
standing
and
up,
feeling better.
knowing that we're never far away.
Nah.
No, we always cooking some
Yeah, we got a lot in store,
in the
and
lab.
it's so much.
Flicking the wrist.
Yeah, all I can say is, stay tuned, y'all.
Flicking the
Please,
wrist.
please stay
Flicking
with
the
us.
wrist.
Please stay tapped in because we got a lot going on, and we want y'all to be a part of it. We want y'all to continuously. Excuse me. I was holding that burp off for a long time. We want y'all to continuously support us. And yeah, this is Carvett Convos
Yeah, episode
16.
16.
Your homie Mike, the beautiful, lovely Faith.
I'm Faith.
You know what I mean,
Chris.
y'all? And
We're out.
we're out. Straight like that. Love, peace, nachos, chicken subs. Yeah, I switched it up. Peace
I
out.
like that.